Coach, third day of practice. It's great to be back out here on the field. What have you seen just from the first couple days?
A lot of energy. I think the guys have been very excited to be out here, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. And you're seeing a lot of guys running around, competing, and a lot of guys getting a lot of opportunities. But I'd say the energy and the intensity and the focus has been really, really good.
Something that's been hit on several times is just the focus in the off-season, the summer workouts. The guys really came in with an edge. A lot of people said it's almost been like it's been player-led so far. Have you seen that? What's been your perspective just from what you've seen from the growth?
I think that's exactly what it's been. And it's really, Kellen Norris and his staff getting guys healthy and getting them ready to be out here. Dave McManus and his staff, from what they did with them all off season in the weight room and out here on the field, they really provided us a really, really good product to work with out here early on in camp. And the guys, they've taken advantage of that. And then, like you said, the opportunities that they had to put themselves in leadership positions and for those guys to lead each other and really be, as you said, player-led, and that's obviously what you're looking for. And they've held each other accountable, but also, again, a lot of competition, but a lot of coaching amongst each other. And it's really helping to bring a lot of the new guys and a lot of the young guys along.
3 days in, you probably haven't installed too many of your concepts, but what have you seen from the guys? We'll go position by position in a little bit, but just what have you seen? Who stood out just from spring to now? Just who's made that jump for your perspective?
Well, I think starting up front, as we always do. I mean, you look at a guy, having Juju back out there has been great. The energy and the production that he can bring. Joey Shue has grown so much up front. When you look at where he was a year ago, Joey's always played hard. He's tough. He's physical, but now he's got a much better understanding of the why, not just the what he's doing and how he's doing it, but the why of what he's doing. So I think that you've seen him come a long way. Antonio Harris continues to do a great job, and then we've got some new guys that have come into the mix, and some young guys that have come into the mix, and then inside, it all starts with we've got two great leaders in there with Lucas Hunter and Janini Belzer, and I think that they really have the pulse of that room. They do a great job of leading by example, but also, again, holding each other accountable, holding the rest of that room accountable. And you can go on down the line. It's nice to have Jack Sherman back out there. Justin Ramsey's come on and done a great job, and so on and so forth. Brian Henderson's had a good couple days of camp, and again, some young guys in those rooms that are continuing to develop. So Coach Gus and Coach Hale really have got a challenge amongst themselves to find the right mix of the right four up front. And a lot of those guys are giving them a lot of choices and a lot of decisions to make. And then, at linebacker, we've got some guys that have been here for a while. Jeffrey Brown's been here and played a lot of football. Jaron Johnson's been here and played a lot of football. He's had a tremendous role on special teams for us the last couple of years. His role defensively has increased and is continuing to increase. And Jaron does everything the right way. Works really, really hard, treats his body well, trains like a pro. Garrett Olendike has made tremendous strides from a year ago. Every single day, for the better part of when he first got here, a lot of stuff was new for Garrett. Hadn't done a lot of what we were doing, playing a new position. But again, the way that he's worked and the way that he's committed to his craft and preparing every single day, you're seeing that out here. And then, guys from a couple of years ago with, Blake Surface's roles continuing to increase. Dallas Westhoff and DJ Griffith have had tremendous off seasons. Braxton Sampson continues to grow, and again, we've got some young guys in the room that are continuing to grow as well, and they're doing a great job of bringing those guys along. So very excited about the front seven and where they're at, and the intensity and the focus that they play with, and then obviously in the back end, it's really been a situation where some guys were forced to play early. But you've got guys with a lot of ability to make plays and really be field generals back there. I mean, you can go on and on with that room, starting with the safety room, and Coach Schaefer's done a great job of developing some continuity back there with those guys, and Maddox Blackwell, and it'd be nice to get Rylan Cole back out there, and Khalil Davis has had a really good 3 days of camp. It's great to see JP Osafo back out there, Jordan Jenkins coming back. So I mean, Micah Hauser, Ethan Hoover. Ethan Hoover's played a lot of football for us. Like I said, I can go on and on down the line. And so it's exciting to see those guys. They fly around, they make plays, they communicate great. And then obviously on the perimeter at corner, it's great to see a guy like Jonathan Edwards back out there from not being available in the spring. Malik Chapman continues to grow and really has some good playmaking ability. Peyton Edwards being healthy has been huge. We'll get Tony Roberts back out there. And then again, you've got some young guys out there that are continuing to grow. And so all across the board, the challenge for us right now is, we talked to them about there can be a different mix of guys. I mean, every series that we roll out there's a different mix of 11 at every position. And it's very important that they understand that when they're on the field, they're the most important player in the country at that position because it's them and their team needs them to execute. And the expectation has always been the position. So a lot of guys are getting a lot of opportunities right now. A lot of guys are taking advantage of a lot of opportunities right now, and it's going to be fun to see how this thing unfolds.
It seemed like last year we had a couple more new faces out there. This year they're all veterans. Has that impacted how you coach them or adjust them just this fall, knowing that those guys have that expectation built in now?
I think it's allowed us to implement things a lot faster. It's allowed us to install a little bit quicker, and because they've done it, they've played it, but they also coach it. And when they coach it, they know it. So they're really doing a great job of bringing the young guys along, and having those guys here all summer too is critical because they're a little bit ahead. So it has allowed us to accelerate our installation a little bit the first couple days and get a lot of things in, and really get to coaching a lot off film. In terms of, like I said, having a heavy dose of our package in right now, But you're exactly right. And what you'll see is what we're excited to see is how it affects their knowledge when we get to the situational piece of football. When we start getting to third down, when we get to red zone, when we get to 2-minute tomorrow. I think that's where you're hopefully going to see a lot of the growth that these guys have with the reps that they've played the last year or so.
Yeah, I talked with Mike about this a little bit, but obviously you're still very early in camp. There's still a lot to go. What are probably 2 or 3 things that you think the defense still kind of needs to work on or still needs to develop as you go through the rest of camp and getting ready for that first game?
It's always going to be about effort and technique for us, and for the most part, the first 3 days they've had great effort. I mean, we're getting a consistency with guys running to the football and understand the importance of finishing plays. And I think that what we just need to continue to do is just it's always going to be about consistency, and working to perfect our craft and really taking the drill to the field. You walk around here at the beginning of practice and from the D-line to the corners to the safeties, these guys are doing a great job of coaching techniques and fundamentals. And it's always going to be about being able to take those fundamentals and those techniques and take the drills to the field to execute them when you get the one-on-one situations, inside run, 7-on-7 and team. And I think that's what we just need to continue to stress ourselves moving forward, is that we continue to see a consistency of the fundamentals and techniques when we put the ball down.